how to get a more jazzy sound with your improvisations. Again based on the pentatonic scale, this time B minor. In case you don't know the scale, here it is. So it's just that standard old pentatonic shape based on the 7th fret. Now while that does sound great, it can be a little bit boring and a bit stale to just use those same 5 notes over and over again for every solo. So here's a way to get what's called an outside sound without having to delve too far into too much theoretical understanding. Here's how it's going to sound. One more time. So it's a very simple concept called enclosing, and all it is this. We just take the notes of whatever chord you're on, so for example in this case we might be on the chord B minor, and all we do is play a note above it, and then a note below it, and then on the note for each chord tone. The note above it could be a tone higher, the note below it could be a tone lower, or we could have a semitone either side. All that matters is having one note above it, one note below it, and then nailing the note. And the note being the chord tone, of course. So, for example, with a B minor chord, we have the notes B, D, F sharp, B, D, F sharp, B. Or just B, D, F sharp, played twice. And all we do is we start off with a tone above the B. Let's for example, or we could have a semitone, but we'll start with a tone above the B, a semitone below the B, and then we nail the B. So a tone above, a tone below, and then straight on the B. And also we're enclosing in each chord tone by playing a note either side of it and then going straight to it. Then we move up to the F sharp and do the same thing. The note a tone above the F sharp, the note a semitone below the F sharp, and then we play the F sharp. So we've got an enclosing little figure on the B, an enclosing figure on the F sharp, then our next chord tone is the D, so we enclose the D, then we're back down to the B, then to the F sharp, then the D, and then the B. Now as I mentioned, we can have a tone above or a semitone above and a tone below and a semitone below. And it's up to you to figure out which of those combinations you prefer. And by the way, you don't have to use the same combination for each scale degree. It can sound cool to mix it up a little bit. So if I alternate it around a bit, I'm going to go a tone above B, semitone below B, and then I'm going to hit B. Then I'm going to do semitone either side of the F sharp, then back to the tone semitone figure for the D. So this will sound like, and then down the next octave. So it's a very common figure that you hear a lot of jazz players do. Everyone from, well, Joe Passer's very renowned for it, Django Reinhardt, George Benson, a lot of those jazz players, this is sort of the core element of their sound. It also works ascending, but in my opinion doesn't quite sound as good. But theoretically it's sound, and of course harmonically it works nicely. By the way, you don't have to do it in those little sort of packages like that. For example, we could do it as triplets. Or we could do it as quavers still, but still in groups of 3. So for example, we would have, if we had this kind of rhythm, we could just go. So there it is, a simple little technique to increase your harmonic knowledge without having to delve too far into a theoretical understanding.